Be it past or present, teachers have always made and continue to make a huge difference to the world. By creating that educative culture and influencing, inspiring and encouraging young thoughts, minds and actions in a big way. They are the unsung heroes of our lives. You toil without complaining. You help us never saying a no. We can't be grateful enough, for we all feel very lucky to have you. A PhD in English, a scholarly and a scholastic individual maintaining a pedantic approach to learning is what makes us stand out and be unique. It is indeed my good fortune to have on board today a very notable senior English professorate who has been a part of the Etharaj family for quite a long time. She blossomed from a young Etharajian to a notable senior professor of the Department of English, Etharaj College. Explaining this beautiful journey goes beyond words. A teacher whom I have known as a very loving, caring, affectionate, amicable, approachable, exuding that dynamic and resplendent and vibrant personality. I am a sheer spectator of the way Madam taught me and still is teaching married students. It is immensely gratifying to note students raving about Madam even today the same way as I used to have during my college days. This is how good my today's guest of honor is. You are our guiding spirit who never let us trip over, and you make us realize that every single moment. It gives me tremendous pleasure to welcome on the hot seat today Dr. Mangai Wilson. I'll welcome you, ma'am.
I have tremendous pleasure in welcoming on the hot seat and on my channel for the very first time Dr. J's EcoNet, the one and only, the resplendent and the vibrant Dr. Mangai Wilson. Welcome, ma'am, on my channel. How do you feel?
Thank you, Divya.
It's been a very, very long time. You used to take classes for me in English, and they're very, very alluring. You know, I have learned a lot from you, ma'am, I must say, and not just me, but all students, we all are indebted to you for what you have done to us. And if whatever we are today, I think it's only because of our teachers. A good amount of credit even goes to you. Thank you so much for giving that part of your time to us and molding us and shaping us in this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you for your warm welcome. And it's really nice to catch up with you after a long time. And this time, you are a VIP now. And you have come up with a lot of questions, interesting, challenging questions. And I'm looking forward to respond to your questions.
Fantastic. All right. We start with the very first question, ma'am. The Oxford English Dictionary aspires to be the most extensive and complete record of the English language. In this context, how has COVID, the pandemic, changed the English language?
This pandemic itself, it was sudden. We didn't expect the whole globe. It was really shocked, and it was overnight. Overnight transition for most of us. The word itself, COVID-19 itself, according to the dictionary editors, appeared in February. That was the first time we heard this COVID. And then World Health Organization, it just reported and it just made a mention of coronavirus disease 2019. And then COVID-19. So the dictionary editors, there was some regional differences, and they were just puzzled how to go about it as COVID-19, full block, or COVID-19. It's dominant in the US, Canada, and Australia. It's common in UK too. UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and South Africa. They all use the same term, COVID-19. Oxford Dictionary, it's edited and published finally that the head word is COVID-19. They accepted that. So let's begin from COVID-19. The special coronavirus related updates, it gives us a glimpse into how language can quickly change in the face of unprecedented social and economic disruption. So it just disrupted our routine. For example, one of the effects of the pandemic is that it's brought obscure medical terms to the forefront of everyday speech. Traditionally, dictionary editors they include scientific and technical terms only if they achieve some degree of currency outside of their disciplines. But this is the first time they introduce new words, and soon after the spread of this COVID-19. So, this is the case for the names of drugs. Let's begin with names of drugs, since there are many thousands of these. For example, aripiprazole and hydroxychloroquine. It's a malaria treatment
Drug.
tablet, can be medicine, can be used for COVID-19. First hydroxychloroquine, and it was popularized by US, and then later on we just got used to that, and it was introduced in Oxford English Dictionary. But it was already introduced in 1951 itself in Oxford Dictionary, but at the same time it was popularized only during this time in 2020. Corticosteroid, that has been popularized, and it was published in 1958, but later at this juncture it's been popularized. And the language of quarantine, that itself we came across only now, self-isolation, and then shelter, and there are other terms in the watch list. Zoom bombing, that is there,
Correct.
and then masking, it includes masking, and then covidiot, and then doom scrolling, which happens when you skim anxiety-inducing pandemic-related stories on your smartphone. That can be called as doom scrolling. We usually
Okay.
scroll the phones, and doom scrolling can be used, and that has been published in our dictionary. And hamster cough, that is known as panic buying. It's a German term, panic buying, and
Yeah.
these terms anyone can use nowadays at this pandemic time. So these are all the words that comes to my mind when it comes to COVID.
Ma'am, before we move on to the next question, I just wanted to say that absolutely what all you have spoken in the first answer,
Okay.
absolutely there has been a spurt as far as the pandemic vocabulary is concerned. New terms have come up, they've cropped up, new medical terms have come up, and not just that, even new acronyms have come up. If you say, for
Okay.
example, if you have an acronym like PPE, which stands for Personal Protective Equipment, and WFH, which means working
Okay.
from home. So even these things have come up, which is so true and so correct as you have stated in your answer. Moving on to the next question, ma'am. Do you think remote teaching practices and transition has helped English language teaching during the pandemic and would continue to do so post-pandemic as well?
This is a challenge, actually. This is a challenge. It's a public health challenge, this COVID-19. In spite of its many unknowns, it offers teachers the unique instructional opportunity. I shall say it's a blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise. It gives us a unique instructional opportunity to tap into students' innate curiosity. They explore everything. All these days they use these gadgets for something else, for some other purpose. Normally the parents they ask them to avoid those gadgets, but now that has become the order of the day. That has become inseparable part of our life. It actually gave us an instructional opportunity to tap into the creative part of our students, and it just motivates them, and it creates curiosity about the virus, and we do make a mention of the virus, and then we deliver lessons that are timely to them, and then prompt students, they dig deep into that, and they come up with something different, and it provide a modicum of comfort to them, and then ideally it provides headlines and sometimes misinformation too. Usually we use simple concepts to make it clear to students, but here from simple concepts it works well with the young students. As teachers, we do concentrate on hygiene matters and how germs spread, and from simple, that is we consider that as a pre-reading activity or lecture session, and then we move on to complex topics like ethical decision making, like soft skills, how they can concentrate on that, like ethical decision making, and the science behind that viral infections, viral infection and how it works, how it spreads, and mathematical underpinning of pandemics. So these are all the ways in which we approach our learners in a different way, and it is thoughtful and it is unique too. So it gives that opportunity for us to interact with our students. Yes.
Definitely. And I also see the benefits being, it has reduced anxiety to quite a extent, and has increased comprehension, the understanding part, and at the same time it has reduced the misconception part. The only flip side, madam, if I possibly perceive, is that there is a certain basic skill set which is necessary for this. And the other thing is the quality of the connectivity, which matters a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with you.
All right. The third question being, when the world feels dangerous harnessing, learning can provide some measure of clarity and perspective. What kind of unique instructional opportunities or ways has your department tapped to make English language propagation a teachable moment?
Actually, just like any other institution, it was a challenge for us, but we just shifted to the challenge quickly, as our management, our college is very famous for that, our management and college is very famous for that. Immediately they provided, and we had that infrastructure for that, and they had to provide some more technical support from their end, and it was already there. The shift itself, the sudden shift itself, it took some time for us. Immediately, with the help of the management and the principal and other deans and other professors, senior professors, we had a discussion. Immediately we just accepted that, and we just transformed ourselves to the new normal, and we had a discussion, and we just provided LMS, learning management system. Learning management system, it's very popular for English language teaching, especially. We have a lot of apps to introduce different things, or to introduce quiz, whatever we would like to have. We have everything as an app. At the same time, even American Embassy, RELO, British Council, English Language Teachers Association, where I represent as National Coordinator, English Language Teachers Association, they provided some support from their end to teach English well, how to make it very interactive. And earlier we had that dilemma, how to make it interactive and all, and we were unable to focus on that. Quickly we just shifted to that, and we just conducted a webinar with the use of all these resources, and the professors, they shared their experience how to make it interactive. Even RELO supported us, what are all the apps can be used for online teaching, what are all the methods we can follow for online teaching, and what are all the resources we have. Everything shared by British Council and RELO. It was really helpful for us to shift to the new normal, and it was smooth for us. And within the department itself, we conducted webinar. We conducted just an hour's program to make themselves familiarized with that. Already we had all those infrastructure. We had a language lab even in those days itself. In your days itself, we had language
Yeah.
lab, and we had a recording facility, the communication skills, and our institution is one of the best institutions in the world, I shall say,
Yes.
in the globe, I shall say, that it provides everything, whatever we require for education, it provides everything. And we had that experience. With that experience, we shifted, we transformed ourselves to the new normal.
Absolutely, ma'am. Couldn't agree more with what you have said. It's in fact a very beautiful amalgamation of teaching and technology, if you see, which COVID has paved way for. And
Okay.
as you correctly mentioned about the LMS, which is a learning management software. Now, just for my audiences of Dr.J EcoNet, which is that Moodle is one of the most famous, learning management softwares, which provides a fantastic and an excellent online platform for both higher education as well as working training. We're going on to question number 4.
Okay.
Teaching from home during the pandemic has been the new normal. What kind of hitches did you encounter in the process, or was it a smooth run?
We use this blended learning in different forms, even in our conduction of examination. The
Okay.
university introduced recently, we use that blended method. Most of the institution, they followed a different model, but on the other hand, in our institution, we tried that blended method, and it was really good. That blended method was really good. It was really helpful for us. Um, how would the pandemic, after the future of teaching and learning, it requires some knowledge, and it's a difficult truth actually. It requires some knowledge. At this point, we don't know the extent to which COVID-19 will cause some proportion of colleges and universities. But this blended method, the higher education blended method, it helps a lot. We have to be ready for anything. We should have plan A and plan B. Though
Yeah.
we all are technically sound, we say we have high tension facility, high tension frequency facility in the infrastructure and everything. But it requires some time for us to get used to that, and we are not sure. We are uncertain about
Yeah.
this, and it will take some time for us to get used to that. For
Yeah.
that, we require that blended method. It really helps us, this blended method, and we tried in our examination, and it is slightly difficult, they say, but it is comfortable for all of us to make things move quickly. Even the examination system, it
Yeah.
was quick, and we had time, and we used that blended method. And then it was trial and error, experimented by different colleges, and we had a common guideline stipulated by the university. But at the same time, it really helped us to move forward. That method, it really helped us to move forward. And now we are going to publish our results with the blended
Fantastic.
approach, and it was really good. It was meticulously we plan and we do that. University helps us from their end, and we do say it's difficult. This pandemic, new normal is difficult. We do face some issues like electricity, the power supply. Other than that, we have data connections. We have other options too to
Okay.
move on to the blended method, and we just adopted both methods. In other countries, advanced countries, they can provide all support, but countries like us, Asian countries,
Developing
we
countries.
do struggle, we do think in a different way. So at
Absolutely.
at this juncture, Kerala came up with that channels, education channels. They were the first one to introduce that education channel, and it was supported and it was appreciated by all. They were the
Okay.
first one. Soon after that, all the other states in India started following that, and it really clicks well. Even I do watch that Kalvi channel offered by Tamil Nadu School Education. We do watch that, and it's really good. It's comfortable, and
Yeah.
it's on their own pace, and the government comes up with good guidelines how it would support the learners and teachers, and they are really supportive. The government from their end, they do a lot. Overall at the national level, our prime minister, right from our prime minister, and even regional wise, state wise, they
Yeah.
do come up with lot of innovative techniques to match that gap. And finally, it's really fantastic. We do come across some pictures that's I shall say it's 5% or 10%. Other than that, we do convert that as a challenge. We take that as a challenge. We
Yeah.
convert that as a challenge, and we move forward with a lot of innovations. And it's really
Yeah.
successful, I shall say.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I think innovations have a big role to play, and we are so much dependent on innovation and online teaching and other tools, whether it is video conferencing or other softwares that are available, all kinds of technology, advanced technology, if I may say, that are giving us this kind of an opportunity. Without any block, we are able to carry on with our work. That's commendable. All right, we go on to the final question, ma'am. Universities and schools post COVID-19, do you think there is going to be a transition from a teaching culture to a learning culture? And if yes, what do you have to say about this systematic shift?
Well, for the vast majority of colleges and universities that will survive COVID-19, most of us survived, and we have been doing something from our end. Most will likely see declines in revenue and increases in costs.
Correct.
Decline in revenue and increases in cost. We hope that schools and institutions prioritize their people as budgets are reduced. So we hope that they are reduced. We learned from the 2008 recession that relying on layoff to balance university budgets is the fastest way to kill innovation, risk taking, and morale. The higher educational future that is COVID-19 will give us, however, is not entirely bleak. If we look far and hard enough into our post-pandemic landscape, we can glimpse some reasons for optimism. Nowhere is a higher education post-COVID-19 future idea of online education. Now we are comfortable. We do face some hitches, but this quality online learning programs with high input operations, it requires both time to develop that and significant investments run into that. So we have to prepare ourselves for that. Many of us are worried that the rapid shift to remote learning will tarnish the reputation of online education. Each of them, they come up with something or the other, and then they think that it will tarnish the image of online education. This does not mean that the COVID-19 necessitated move to universal remote teaching will be all bad. So for students, it's bad, they say. The biggest future benefits of virtual instruction will come after our professors and students return to their physical classrooms. So we are looking forward to return to our physical classrooms with the new normal, with the new techniques. We shall meet our students with fresh energy, with fresh faces, with fresh ideas, and there are lots to discuss in the classroom, in physical classrooms, the experiences faced, and there are lots to do that in our physical classroom. End of the day, physical classrooms are the better options. We are looking forward to meet our students in our physical classrooms. I would end with that. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity, Divya. And it was nice catching up with you after a long time. When you were a student, it was different. This pandemic, it changed the entire thing. But our institution provided a lot of support, and from their end, we do enjoy everything. every day we come up with just like our physical classrooms, we do come up with a lot of programs. We have, even this morning we had yoga, and we had a lot of speakers. We conduct through webinars. uh, we invite a lot of speakers, study abroad programs, and then just like any other day, Etiraj is brimming with spirit. We are
Yeah.
Etirajians. So 3 cheers to Etiraj. Thank you.
Yeah, well said, ma'am. You're correct. We need to find, we need to in fact see opportunity in every situation, irrespective of how the situation is, and we must take it in a very optimistic way and try to find out solutions from therein. So thank you so much for joining, Dr. Mangai, ma'am. It was amazing chatting with you, and this conversation was, though it seemed very formal, but it just really went out in no time. And I would love to have more such interviews with you and have you on board on my channel. Let's just meet again and again through Dr. D's EcoNet, as I feel personally this is a wonderful platform through which we all can connect. We used to when we were children, and now since we are all into our different fields, we are not able to meet up that much. So I feel this gives us that opportunity to do so. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with me.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you.